Hello, West Ham Network. It's Holly, and I'm here with your Hammers headlines for today, Wednesday, the 27th of March, run in association, of course, with KUMB.com. Today, we are going to be chatting about 3 different transfer-related news stories with the summer rapidly approaching. We have that time of year upon us. So if you enjoy this video, please give it a thumbs up and, of course, get involved in that comment section. Let's jump straight into your headlines. For your first story, Southampton is said to be eager to sign Flyn Downes on a permanent after he has impressed in his time at St Mary's so far. Now, this is thought to be the case whether they're promoted or not this season. They're currently sitting 4th in the Championship, 8 points behind 3rd and 7 points above 5th place. So it looks as though they're in a decent position to get promoted. Either way, sounds like they want him. Southampton manager Russell Martin appears to be a big fan, instructing club officials to finalise that deal. Personally, I'd actually be quite sad to see Downes go because he seems to have continued improving since we sent him out on loan, and he seemed to have all the basics of the kind of player that we'd want in that position, but he obviously wasn't quite to the standard that we needed at the time, but he could definitely help us out, particularly given Calvin Phillips's form and Alvarez's suspension and potential future suspensions as well. But we do of course have Freddie Potts and now Andy Irving that could play in midfield, so they could be other options to play in the same position as Downes if we don't see him back. But let us know in the comments if you would like to see Downes return to the London Stadium, or if you're happy for him to sign on a permanent for Southampton and head on his merry way. Let us know your thoughts. Up next, London World are reporting that Ben Rama is expected to complete a permanent move to Lyon this summer following his loan spell. So after 6 appearances, 5 starts and a goal, he is said to be basically impressing, and they're keen to keep him at the club, which means that they could trigger an option to buy clause that's in his contract. It's thought that on top of the 5.1 million that they originally paid to sign Ben Rama in January on loan, they will have to pay around an additional 12.3 million to make that move permanent. The one thing we do need to make sure, though, is that we've got nothing to do with that paperwork this time. And finally, Give Me Sport are reporting that Palace are on the verge of striking an agreement that would see Ben Johnson join them as a free agent in the summer. This would make him the first signing, I believe, of Oliver Glasner's time at Selhurst Park. So Johnson has officially entered the last 6 months of his contract, which means it's probably not savable. It sees him earn £20,000 a week at the moment this season. We've seen him play on the right, we've seen him play on the left of defence, and we've also seen him play in midfield, which was surprisingly impressive. But as you'd expect, he wants game time, and we can't offer this to him very often. However, being in the starting 11 would not be a guaranteed thing at Palace either, because winter signing Munoz will also be competing for the same spot. So is it worth him going to another club where he won't necessarily be in the starting 11? It's a risk either way. But despite Johnson reportedly turning down a new contract offer, it will be a shame, in my opinion, to lose him. He's such a well-rounded player and the perfect backup, but I also get why he wants that game time and he wants the chance to prove himself at West Ham. Who's he going to start ahead of? It's very difficult at the moment. But yeah, he turned down, I believe, an offer for a 6.5-year contract back in February 22, which is when we went on to then basically activate this 2-year extension clause. And back then, Johnson was thought to be quite happy, wanting to prove himself and work his way into the starting 11, which still has not happened. And it's also being reported that Moyes has set sight on the task a while back of identifying potential replacements, as it's basically thought that he's as good as gone by this point. Would you be sad to see Johnson leave, though? Drop us a comment with your thoughts about that. So there we go. Those are your 3 Hammers headlines for today. So drop us a comment below. We want to hear your thoughts of these players leaving on a permanent. Do you want to keep them? Do you want to see them leave? If you would like to know a lot more detail, actually, about those on loan, check out Russ's West Ham loanee report from this morning, which went out earlier today. And are there any players that you would like to keep? And if so, who and what would you offer to tempt them to remain a West Ham player? Have a brilliant day. And until next time, come on, you Irons.